Okay, we're going to move on to the packaging and distribution side of things. This is CD Architect, and what we're looking at is this last CD that I put out. And what you can see is really what you're doing here. You would kind of move beyond a lot of the artistic elements involved here, where we're getting our tracks kind of recorded and getting them into a condition that we would like them to be. So at some point, we have to lock down the sound that we're looking for on a given song, and that's happened now. Now, I will warn you that there are many cases where you can do this over and over and over again, and you get nowhere because you keep tweaking and adjusting sound. But at some point, you've got to say to yourself, this has got to be good enough, because you can't move on until you do that. But this is the point where we start getting into the mechanical aspects of things. Now, it's not like there's not some artistic decisions to be made here. There certainly are. But mostly we're getting into the mechanics of the distribution. And in this day and age, distribution is more than CDs. Obviously, you're going to probably upload these things to SoundClick or any number of different places like that to distribute. And a lot of distribution, are just is just electronic distribution. But CDs are still an element of life, particularly if you're in a band or you're a performer and you want to sell your CDs at your gigs. So it still comes into play, and we're going to focus on that aspect. Now, as you can see right here, I'm looking at the track list. There's a couple of different ways that I can look at things. This is the Explorer view, and this is how I would grab the songs and drop them in. And as you can see, these are the individual songs that are going onto my CD as we go along here. Now, this is actually from the first CD, and what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and open my more recent one. Let's see. I believe that's it. Okay. And the reason I wanted to do that is because one of the major things that you have to do as you're dealing with this is you need to figure out what sequence of events you want your songs to fall into. And that is an artistic decision. You want the CD to flow relatively smoothly. And even though the title of this album was Where the Spirit Leads, and you can see that's where this song lies, I decided to put it a little bit further in because I wanted some attention grabbers toward the front. And also there's a flow that you want to achieve between fast songs, slow songs, songs that you believe to be more engaging. And you don't want to put all of those up front either. You want to kind of spread them out. So there are some artistic decisions that you have to make, and it's kind of surprising how you come to these decisions as well. Now, I have people that I use, friends of mine, that listen to the tracks and they give me some feedback. And a lot of times, some of the tracks that I don't particularly care for, and this is one of them, this Got No Worries, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was okay, but I got a lot of feedback that a lot of people liked it. Now, why is it at the end? It's not at the end because I don't like it. It's at the end because you want to have a song that's going to be seen as popular to pull people through the whole range of your CD. And a lot of people like this song. So there's a lot of things that go into the decisions, and I would suggest that you probably get some feedback from people so that you can get a fair idea and try to be as objective as possible as to how you lay these things out. Now, one of the things you'll notice over here in the track list, this is where you specify the pauses between the songs so that you get a good flow. And this allows you to play the whole CD, and of course you can jump forward, jump back, and listen to how it comes out. And all I did is I imported WAV files. As we mentioned before, I was using when I was using SoundForge, I was using its native format. But I still, eventually, once I'm ready to lock it down, I save it as a WAV file so that I can bring it in here because I'm not going to manipulate the sound anymore. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and burn your disc directly from here. And the process is, once I've settled this all out and decided on my pauses, and I have to fill in my CD text for the titles that'll go on it and so on and so forth, and the artists, then I'll go ahead and burn the master CD. This is one of those cases where the master CD has become useful because I have the master CD, and then on the subsequent tools, I'll show you where I can go ahead and read in that master as a full binary image of the CD, and then just duplicate it from there. So anyhow, that's this particular tool, and we're going to move on to the other tools for distribution as well. All right, this is the PT Publisher main screen. A couple of things that I want to point out for you as we look through here. This is a very simple application, but it's absolutely crucial because it works very, very closely with my Bravo SE disk publishing machine. And these are the different types of projects that you can have. I want to point out down here at the lower right hand side, this tells me how many disks I have in my tray. Now right now it doesn't do it because it hasn't gone over and checked those out, but when I start a job it'll keep me advised of how many disks I have there, and also my ink cartridges and how much is left on those. Now these are the different types of projects that I can have. Everything from a data project, such as you want to create a bunch of CDs that are just data like Word documents and so on and so forth. An audio CD, I can copy a CD, and that's, for example, if I just wanted to take the master CD and then make copies of it, that's how I would go ahead and do it. But the way, and video projects and so on and so forth. What I want to point out is the disk image projects, because I did make a master copy of that last CD, Where the Spirit Leads. Now, what I do is I'll bring that in because this now saves it, you see, as this .gi or .iso file. And that allows me, without even having access to the master, to go ahead and duplicate it. Now I'll go ahead and bring that project up, Where the Spirit Leads, because it's saved as a project, and you can see that's the GI. Now I'll go on to step 2, which is about the printer and how it will print. And here you see this is the actual CD cover label that will go on to the CD itself. Now I could go ahead and edit that, and if I were to edit that label, that's going to take me into the Sure Thing CD labeler. So they are interlinked, and that would allow me to modify it or do whatever I need to do. I'll give this a moment to bring this up. Okay, you can see that I can modify it here if I'd like. And then I would save that, and then it's going to go back and it's going to generate that preview again. And then, of course, once this is all set, it now has my .gi file, which is the binary image of my disk. It now has the label, and so all that's left for me to do is to tell it how many copies I want it to make. So I just specify the number of copies here, and then I'd go down here and tell it to go, in which case the unit will start making them, and I can make up to 20 copies on this particular unit. And that's really all there is to this particular piece of software, but very, very handy.